A Fox urgent and breaking details from Washington. This just in, the Pentagon confirming at least 4 more U.S. airstrikes today in Iraq. I'm Julie Banderas. Good evening, everyone. This is the Fox Report, and tonight, America's growing military. Thank you so much for talking to us. This crisis is huge. The Christians on the ground that are being tortured to death. I mean, we have seen such graphic images on the internet of poor children being caught in the middle of this crossfire, if you will. But we don't have boots on the ground. The president has no intention on sending more boots to the ground. So with airstrikes and airdrops, how are we to defeat ISIS?
Well, first of all, I think the
humanitarian aid is great in the short term, but we will eventually have to deal with those enemy who are the problem. Vance Gregory writes, when it comes to the Kurds, as long as it takes, they have always been U.S.
things early. I think the president has always kind of looked at the situation as either we go to war.
Right.
You know, ISIS is stronger because they weren't challenged. And
Too on Twitter writes me, we have to stay in Iraq as long as it takes. We don't want to fight them in America. Don't let them get to America.
Yeah.
The bottom line is that if ISIS is and so the leader of the United States, what does he do from Martha's Vineyard? He's on vacation. Should he come back?
Yeah, I mean, Iraq, they're going to pop up somewhere.
Right now, talks between Israel and Hamas in doubt. Israel's demanding. In Ukraine now, a top rebel leader says pro-Russian separatists are willing to accept a ceasefire to prevent what he calls a humanitarian catastrophe near the Ukraine border. Meantime, Vice President Joe Biden calling Ukraine's president today. The two leaders agreed that any Russian intervention, even under alleged humanitarian efforts, would be a violation of international law. Now to Hawaii, and it is getting hit by Hawaii dodges a tropical bullet, but it's not completely out of the woods just yet anyway, as a second storm heads toward the island chain. A massive cleanup operation underway. Catholic leaders urging the U.S. to take more action to help religious minorities caught in the ongoing violence in Iraq. This as the U.S. military drops humanitarian aid to help thousands of families trying to outrun the terrorists. Meanwhile, Iraqis here in America are fearing the worst. Well, the U.S. might have detected the deadliest outbreak of Ebola 9 days before. Talk to us more about the very latest on this case, and a scary one here in the United States.
It really is, Julian. First off, we're learning that the 2 Americans are showing signs of improvement. That's Dr. Kent Brantley and aid worker Nancy Wrightbull. Now, meanwhile, in Liberia, Ang was working in Liberia.
All right. Well, our thoughts and prayers to those being treated right now here in the U.S. Leah, thank you very much. Former White House Press Secretary James Brady's death now ruled a homicide. What this could